Song I'm going to perform for you now is Therese's most favorite song.
Yeah, go ahead and take the call, right? Just want to say on behalf of the family here, thank you all so much for coming and being a part of today's ceremony. It's a celebration of life. You know, everybody, the whole community, my mom, somewhere, you know, from my age, all the way up to some of the younger kids, especially education. You know, when I was growing up, there was no high school here in Fort Chip, and a lot of the kids had to go to high school outside of the community. And my mother was actually responsible for making sure those kids were all where they were supposed to be. Some kids in Blue Quills, there's some kids in Gruard, there's some kids in Edmonton, there's some kids in Fort Smith. They were all over the place. place, and she always had to keep track of them. This one time, they lost one. Couldn't find them for a long time. And then all of a sudden, on CBC North, this voice comes on and said, "Good evening, I'm George Tuccaro. Welcome to gather around." But no, my mom was scared because she lost George. He disappeared from school. He left there and he ended up in Yellowhead. His brother was up there working and he ended up over there and came on the radio. "Mom, it's one cool," she said. There he is, George G. But my mother was scared to go and see Chit-Chat next door to tell him that he was missing. But then when he kind of showed up on air, he never showed up. I mean, he came on air on the radio and we finally found him again. And George got lost for many years. We found Marilyn up there and never came back. I know we have, my mom, I think, touched a lot of people's, her path touched a lot of people along the way, especially around education. I got a lot of friends here. Peter was a part of it. Peter was one of the guys that used to miss school. My mother knocked on Rosalie's door and said, "Where's that Padawan?" Peter. "Yeah, Mr. Paul." Peter, I held up, we get to school. That's what she used to do. She used to go and, if kids missed school, she'd go and knock on the door and say, "What's going on? It's time for you guys to go back to school." And Roy is here. Roy knows about all that stuff. Even some of the older guys, I think Matthew McBeanie's here too. I don't know if Matthew, I think, went to Gerard. George went to Gerard. No, he went to Gerard. Gerard, St. Paul, Blue Bills, a lot of our kids went to those schools for high school stuff. But she always was one of the strongest advocates for education. She always said, "You've got to get educated. If you want to move on and be successful in life, that's one of the first things we need to encourage our kids to do is to continue their education." And it's been nice to hear here in Fort Chip, we've got a community school who's graduating more kids than the Athabasca Delta Community School has done over the years. So that's what my mother was all about. My mother never drank in her life. We always had a safe home to go to. She always looked after us, plus a bunch of other kids from Bannock and Art Avenue that were having, problems at home. She'd take everybody in, no matter who, no matter what. Pat said Gigi and baby girl lived not far from us. They're at our house all the time. Patsy, she was at our house. Billy Joe used to come and eat all my mother's leftover flapjacks. It's just the way she was. She always invited whoever it was to the house and she made them feel a part of our home. I think, what we need to do now is just take our memory and move it forward. Always look forward. What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do next year? What are you going to look like 5 years from now and 10 years from now? And if you continue down a certain path, well, if you project that out 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you can basically see yourself what you're going to end up like. But everybody has a choice to make, and that's what my mother always used to say. Well, you can keep on doing that if you want to, but somewhere along the way it'll catch up to you, and you'll have to pay the price. My mother, we had a big fire in Fort McMurray, and everybody got kicked out of town. And Elsie Yannick was flown to had to go to one of the camps north of Fort McMurray, and my mother made it to Edmonton with Lawrence, had to drive through that fire. And we found out that Elsie was taken to Edmonton, and I said to Lauren Yannick, who's my pilot then, I said, "Lauren, go get our mom." So he got on the plane, and I picked up Auntie Elsie and my mom, and they came in and we had a big dinner at my house in Kelowna, and we're sitting on the deck, and my mom and Elsie spoke fluent French. They just sat there back and forth all night long, and then they started talking about, well, Elsie, when you die, where are you gonna get buried? Elsie said, well, I want to be buried. I don't want to be buried with myself. I want to get cremated, and I want to be buried with my husband, Lawrence. I want to be put on top of his coffin, so I'll be on top of him forever, no matter what. And my mom said, that's a good idea. That's what I want to do too. So she kept on reminding me, said, if I ever go, that's what I want to do. I want to be with Gabe. So that's the plan, is we're going to fly her back to Fort McMurray today, and tomorrow we'll take her to the crematorium, and we'll bring her back in the spring, and we'll have another celebration of life for her. We're hoping around her birthday. Her birthday's on June 25th. I think it's around the same time as Tree Days here. Here's the chief, is he here? Am I right? If not, I'll find out. Yeah, good time, June 25th. So that's kind of the plan, so everybody here knows that, we're still not finished with Therese yet. She'll be back. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the people that were a part of putting everything together here while we were in McMurray, and bringing my mother here, and all the volunteers, all the food that they brought to Beanie's house. And there were just so much food there. I think there's still lots left over. And I have to also thank Irene is going to cook the meal already. Yeah, Irene. We're going to have a little bit of a meal, and that's what my mother used to do all the time. Is we always got together and we had meals, and we all sat down in the house, and that's what we want to do. We'll take my mother here pretty soon back to the airport, and we'll all sit down and have a meal together before we separate again. And, I just seen, earlier I seen Maureen Clark, and Maureen, you worked with my mother for a long time, right? Yeah, well, thank you for that. And I also, Fiona was just a young girl when she first moved to Fort Chip, and my mother was here still working, and then Roy Vermillion came along and did something. Well, my mom had colleagues, educators, and politicians, sitting down with Jean Chrétien and giving them shit. And, she could fit in wherever. And she understood Cree and French. She understood all the nuns speaking Cree or French. I mean. But I just want to say thank you very much for coming, for participating, for volunteering. Funeral like this doesn't happen just by itself. It happens by the whole community coming together and supporting each other and helping each other out, and that's what you guys have done. We feel good about that, so thank you very much.
So on behalf of the family, we'd like to ask you if you feel that you want to say one last goodbye to Therese, you can come and gather around the casket here as we get ready to depart for the airport. Okay, thank you. While you're moving toward the casket, we also want to let you know that when we have the reception here, grandson Richard has put together a slide presentation that will be part of the closing reception here as well.
Huh?
And
should we line up and have our last close, or all together?
I don't know.
Very shortly after Therese has departed.
Yeah. All line up after, can't we?
I'll do a special song for Therese. The song that I wrote back in 2007. There are some words that I have got to say. How do I put it the most simple way? You have been my strength and all that you do. But how do I live one day without you? There is a place much different than here, where the pain and the hurt will all but disappear. There's only one gate that I must go through. How do I live one day without you? So please take my hand and slowly walk with me. And when I let go, won't you please set me free? And when your days are through, I'll come back for you, so we can be together forever beyond the blue. And as my health grew weak, you were by my side. I'll always remember moments when we cried. Please don't feel alone, there's someone guiding you. God is so much greater, He really loves you too. As the sun goes down, when each day is through, please, please remember, I'll always love you. So please take my hand and slowly walk with me. And when I let go, won't you please set me free? And when your days are through, I'll come back for you, so we can be together forever beyond the blue. Yes, we can be together forever beyond the blue.
Just line up the same, just let people walk through now. We'll close it after the. Maybe make the line here this way, or this way, whatever way. Line there.
Down that way? Okay. Yeah, down that way. Yeah. Yeah. Down this way. can line up. You can line up down that way to pay your final respects if you want. Down that way. Down this way here. Down this way. Where's my auntie? Where's my auntie? Oh, right here.
He doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to see this part? Okay, Uncle Kenny. I'm letting this go now. I love you, Uncle Kenny.